Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I'm Dan the Law Arena. We have a beautiful, wonderful special guest tonight. Caleb watches movies. Oh, yeah.
I've never been called beautiful before, so thank you very much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I think everybody's beautiful and special and wonderful.
We're all beautiful in our own ways.
That's right.
That's what the first grade teacher tells you, right?
That's right. So welcome everybody inside the booth. I'm Dan the Law, and tonight we have a special, not just a special guest. Oops, hey, what happened there? We're not doing that. That was last.
I watched the wrong
Sunday.
Movie. If that was the case.
I meant to hit delete. I don't know what happened there. So we are going to be watching a special movie tonight, everybody. Or not watching. Why did I say watching? We're reviewing a movie. Gosh, what is wrong with me? Also, our beautiful special guest, like I said, Caleb Watches Movies, is with us. If you haven't seen his stuff, if you haven't watched any of his videos, go watch them. His link is in the description down below, and he is doing wonders on his channel. You even edit well. Your editing is superb.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It means a lot. I've had no training. I just went into it, and just over the years, it's evolved into what I like. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you got some great background pictures and things.
Well, things. Yeah, and a lot of things. A lot of Funko things.
Nice. Everybody likes a little Funko. But tonight's movie that we're reviewing is called My Apocalyptic Thanksgiving. So obviously it's really not about zombies, but it's about a special needs person. It says special times require special needs person who loves zombies, and he wants to have Thanksgiving with his mother, who unfortunately is in jail. You know what? Let's get into kind of talking about it a little bit before we get in. I mean, we could kind of talk about the plot at the same time as we talk about what we liked and stuff. Let's get into it, everybody. And I have a comment that I didn't look at yet. Hello there, Phil TMNT said. Hello, Phil. How are you? Hello,
Phil. Phil.
Phil.
Ned Ryerson.
That's a good movie. That's Groundhog's Day, correct?
You got it.
Oh yeah. I know some of my movies.
There you go.
All right, so what did you think of the plot, or what did you kind of think of overall? I guess we should talk about how this movie is an independent film. It's kind of low budget B film. And the creators just kind of saved up their money and went for it, I guess.
Yeah, and going on to their website, looking at a couple of interviews that they've done, the writer and the producer, got to mention their names correctly here. Oh shoot, where was it? I took the note. Holly and Ricardo Soriano. Richard is the one who wrote the film, and then Holly is one of the producers on the movie. I guess they actually run their own home, their own group home for people with special needs. So this is kind of a passion project of theirs to kind of showcase the special needs community and try to erase some of the stigmatisms that kind of follow them, or stigmas, I should say. A stigmatism is something with the I. I don't know what I was saying.
You're like me tonight, just kind of
long day.
Tumbling over words.
Right. It sounds the same, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess this was a passion project of theirs. So I have to, you have to applaud it whenever you see someone who's passionate about something, who's lived in something for so long and has seen so many different wrong ideas when it comes to a group home for someone with special needs, to see them try to right those wrongs or to correct those things. It's incredible. So all the more power to them. I really enjoyed the background of it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with family, like, what was it, the gang wanted to be a family, and then the what were they, Koreans? I don't remember.
I believe they said Korea. Yeah,
okay, Koreans. Yeah, the Koreans wanted to adopt this young man into their family, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but they did. It was weird because they didn't like go in and like really adopt him for family, because he was living with the other group home or something with the other guy there. So it was strange, but it was it was good. It was good, definitely.
Yeah.
And it had some comedy aspects to it. I mean, I laughed a few times because I have an uncle who is mentally handicapped. It's funny how in this movie they say, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, a quick hello and fast goodbye. Anonymous, hello, goodbye. Thanks for stopping in to say hello. But you should stay, really, watch us. But anyways,
keep your phone on. Just play it.
Come on. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's, I don't know if YouTube will allow me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. They said retard in the movie, right? And then
you say multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, and the main actor there, I think, the character Marcus, he goes, I'm not a retard, I have a mental retardation, or something like that. I mean, it was kind of funny because he was saying basically the same thing, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I think there's something different when it's not a label, but it's something that a person has. I think he said, like, I'm not retarded, I have mental retardation.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's just, again, correcting it. What the Sorianos did in the script here is kind of correcting a lot of those misconceptions that the mass public has towards those people with special needs, autism, things like that. So
yeah, I mean, I call my brother retard sometimes, but and then vice versa. But we have fun with it. But yeah, you're right. And I do have an uncle who has mental handicap, retardation. So this movie kind of resonates with me. There was a lot of things that I was like, oh yeah, they do stuff like this, and like my Uncle Mike, he always either asks the same question multiple times, or he'll say something multiple times, just, I guess, maybe to make sure that we know, or I don't know why that tick is like that, but it's there, and I don't know. In this movie, I think he did that a couple of times, but I don't remember a lot, but
yeah, the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
I got a lot of the comedy from all of the zombie sequences.
Yeah, that was funny.
I mean, that's a lot of filmmakers get their start in the horror genre, so I'm pretty sure with these filmmakers, this is probably one of their first films that they've made, so that part was probably just like gold, where you have all the fake blood and all of the zombie jump scares and things like that. It's a lot of fun to make, and that's where a lot of the great camera tricks I was seeing came into play. A lot of the cool lighting choices and color saturation on the screen. And it's a TV show. For those of you that haven't seen this film, it's a TV show that Marcus, who is our main character in the real world, he loves to watch. And the character in this TV show, the play within the play, if we're going into like the theater world, the main character is in the middle of this zombie apocalypse, but gosh, she just wants to charge her phone. All she wants to do. It's Thanksgiving, but we're just having Thanksgiving lunch, and I just want to charge my phone.
Right. That was great. And she was like running around, and she sees the zombies, and she's like, "Oh, that's right, my phone."
She was running around in heels too. Like,
yeah,
she was Bryce Dallas Howard to shame from Jurassic World. That actress was running like crazy in those heels. Like, holy crap! Good for you.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that. That's great.
Yeah, it's so funny. So there was like a plot within the movie plot, which is the TV show that they had.
Yeah,
it's fun. It was fun. So that being said, I would give the plot a point. What about you, King?
I would give the plot a point. Yes, I would. I feel that there were things in the plot that were introduced and then never followed up or resolved. Like, there was a lot of things with the social worker who would come by the group home. And she was talking about how she wants them to relocate into like a main facility. Mm-hmm. But Frank, Frank, who is the caretaker of this group home now, like, she was saying that he just wants these people to stay in his home because he just wants the money.
Oh, right.
Like, where did that come from? I never saw like any greediness or money hungriness from this character at all. Where did that comment come from?
Yeah, he seemed more depressed to me. Like, he was depressed. You know, his mom died or something like that, and then he was just kind of depressed.
Yeah.
You know, for the rest.
And there, just some aspects of the story that I feel were introduced, but there was no resolution to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the stuff with Marcus and the Korean family, kind of being kind of adopted into that family a little bit.
Yeah.
The stuff with the gang that he was being adopted into as well, that was a little strange, but it provided some good comedic bits, I think.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, overall, I would give it a point. It was a nice story.
There you go. Beautiful. So we give it a point each.
There we go.
Of course, you know, I mean, independent movies usually need help along the way here and there, but you know, it's one of those things where when you don't have the money and you're just doing it like a passion project, or you're doing it for yourself, or you know, just trying to do it, it's hard. It's hard to get into. And when you don't have the help, it's even harder. So,
and you only know what you know too.
Yeah,
you can think you know all you know about making a movie, and then you get into it and you go, "Oh, there's some other things."
Yeah,
that I haven't even thought about here.
Right.
Or no one told me about. Oh crap!
Right. Yeah. So, exactly. Especially, I'm sure like the editing process took a long time too. Because you're right, I did watch an interview, which, by the way, everybody, next Tuesday we will be interviewing the producer and the writer here on Inside the Booth. So I did watch an interview where they did say that it took them like, I think, 12 years to make this movie. So maybe it took a little bit to write and then a little bit to rewrite, something like that, and maybe some editing. But the filming portion of it, it looked like they did it quickly, you know, maybe like within a month or two, you know.
Yeah, which is pretty short for a like an independent feature. I mean, depending. So
yeah. Not like my movie that I made that nobody will ever see. No, I'm joking. I'm working on it. I'm editing slowly but surely. But it was when I was in high school, I filmed this movie and never edited it until like couple years from now. I just started editing and let me put it together, I guess.
Let me
So
put this together and maybe see if anyone wants this.
yeah, everyone wants to watch it.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the filming process can take a while. Definitely, the editing process does take a while. So,
Yeah.
Miss Martin Muses, how are you tonight? All right, so let's jump into. Is there any more you want to say, maybe about the plot or anything like that?
I think no. I think we talked about it enough. I think we'll talk about the other things as we move along.
All right, all right. The acting. Bum, 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 bum. So, the acting. Let me look at the actors real quick. We got, and obviously these are actors that are, because it's an independent film, not too famous. We got a bunch of not too famous people. Ray Chang, Willow Hell. I guess that's what you say. Ray Chang was. I can't even say these names. Jung.
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced.
Willow Hale was Doris. Carrie Foster was Nicole. Kaylee Gilbert was Andrea. I think she was the TV series person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Ian, whatever his last name is, as the prison guard. Walker Hines as Frank. Grace Shen as Mi Young. Must be the mother.
Yep. And then Josh Warren Bush plays Marcus, the lead person, the one who carries this movie.
Yes, I'm surprised he's not listed first on Google.
He's not on Google.
No, not on Google because he is the lead.
He is on IMDb. He is the top person.
Well, right.
Google can do what it wants.
Yes,
but IMDb is correct, I guess.
Yes. So, yeah, I think the acting was pretty well done for what they could do. I mean, I think the guy who plays Marcus did a really good job as a handicapped person. It looked like he had the right style tick of a handicapped person and stuff. And I don't know if they did have other handicapped people acting with them or if they were not, like the other two that were in the home.
We're in that home, yeah. I was wondering that too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were just actors or if they were really handicapped people.
And I know that when they were filming Josh Bush, he stayed with the Sorianos in their home. Where they had all their special needs tenants living there too. So he was observing, which is, as an actor, that's what you're supposed to do. You are observer of life, and kind of he obtained a lot of tics that he saw and mannerisms, the way things were being said. They said that that's where he got a lot of his inflections from. So I think I think you're right. He handled the role with care, even though he's not someone that has special needs. And I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, because there's something to be said about playing at someone with special needs as opposed to just playing someone with special needs, if that makes sense.
I think so.
Yeah. In college, I have my degree in performance. So the whole idea of acting at something is kind of like, oh, that he's acting, he's performing.
Right.
So I was a little worried at times with his performance. I'm like, are you kind of hamming it up here as someone with special needs? But I think overall he did a good job of showing respect and love towards this character and this world.
Right. And then apparently the director obviously has to tell them how they want them to act and stuff. And I'm sure the producers had some idea as well.
Sure.
So to kind of probably put it together. Yeah. together.
It's all one big cookie that you need to bake.
That's it.
All the ingredients.
So I thought the acting was pretty well done. Even like the that young Korean son there who's jealous of him because he was getting more attention than he was, and yet he was going to the schools, he was doing all this stuff that his parents wanted him to do, but it was the special needs person, Marcus, who got the attention, and he got jealous, and he was getting angry, and he decided to do something he didn't like or didn't want to get back into, but he did it anyways. So
I will say that character is a terrible heroin addict.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
I mean, at the end, there's a moment where he decides he wants to do away with it. He wants to do away with the hair. He wants to change his life, and he goes into the bathroom, and there's his stash. It's right there on the counter. I'm like, no, dude. I mean, I'm not advocating for it. Please know that. But I'm like, you got to put that under your bed or in a shoebox in your closet somewhere.
Yeah,
your parents right there on the counter. Yeah. What you doing? And what are you doing, parents? When you just why don't you throw it?
Exactly. But what is this stuff? I better throw it away.
No, is this insulin? Are you diabetic now?
Yeah, right. Must be his medicine.
Yeah.
What kind of medicine is this? It's headache medicine.
It helps me get through my days. It gives me great ideas. I will say that Ray Chang, who plays Zheng, the owner of the wash shop, I think he was my favorite performance. I think he had a great way of being authoritative, but yet like soft and genuine and gentle with Marcus and really anyone who came into his store, even the gang people. I loved his performance. He was my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah, he was good. Now the gang members, they were a little stereotypical. I think they hammed it up with their accents and everything,
Yeah,
for sure.
A little bit.
Had that Mexican accent.
Hey, man.
Yeah, got a little, got a little bit. Yeah. Awful tattoo too. I think the lieutenant or whatever of the gang, he flashed his little face tattoo, and it's like, ooh, that looks cool. I want one. I'm like, no, don't.
Yeah, right.
Not from that artist. Ugh.
Oh, that was funny.
I don't know.
Funny. Oh, that's my boss. We.
No.
That was good. That was a good one. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but it made me laugh. All that stuff.
It made me laugh too, and I think for the wrong reason, but
right. So definitely the gang wasn't like obviously a real style gang. I don't know if it's definitely like a movie gang or something, like a comedy movie gang type of style. Yeah,
the Hollywood idea of what a gang is. Yeah. Even though again this is an independent movie, it's still that cinematic idea of what gang members do and look like. So
Right, exactly. So I don't know. I guess with that, I might have to give it a half a point instead of a whole point.
That's where I'm going with too. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I did, obviously I did enjoy most of this movie, but there were some parts that were like just kind of laughable. Because not knowing exactly, especially like with not knowing where they were going with certain things, like I pointed out that the gang thing, it was a little bit laughable. It made me laugh, but not sure if it was supposed to make me laugh,
Right.
So it was kind of confusing about, is that comical? Is that supposed to be comical? Is it supposed to be serious? I don't know yet, you know?
Right.
But the majority of it was well done. But I'll have to give it a half a point for just that.
Yeah, and I think we have some strong performances. I think there's also performances here that were a little lacking a little bit, or at least not meeting what others were doing. So
right.
Yeah, half a point. Half a point is fair.
It's fair.
I think it's fair.
We'll do the fair way, the infamous half point. All right, so before we hit cinematography, let's go into a little commercial break like I usually do. So everybody, you know what to do here. This is YouTube. You don't forget to subscribe, vanquish the like button, and of course,
want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
Come on,
that bell
come on,
button.
Rocky, come on.
Because when you ding the bell button, you get notified for more stuff that we do. We go live every Tuesday and Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we just like post things too. So if you get the bell rang, you'll be notified for those posts that we do. So there you go. Also, don't forget, if you want to support us, that's right, do it now. If you want to support us any way you can become a Patreon member. For those who don't want to become members on YouTube, you can become a YouTube member, or better yet,
what is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You added your face to yogurt from the last time I was here. Oh my.
So yes, you can get some mugs at www.insidetheboothtv.com/shop, and there's a bunch of stuff you can buy. And not only does that help us financially, but it also helps us get the word out of who we are, because you're showing people, hey, I support these guys. I'm wearing them, or I'm drinking out of their mugs, or something. You know how things go. So that's it. Commercial break over.
Woo!
That's something I got to do. I got to do better at is the whole merchandising thing. I suck at it on my channel. Patreon, I got to do that. I got to get into that.
You do.
I'm slacking, man. It's so hard to just do it all yourself.
It is. Really, it really is. Also, yeah, so that being said, everybody, don't forget, Caleb watches movies down in the description box below. Go watch his stuff, share his stuff, support him any way you can. I think I think on your channel you have a PayPal, right? You have a PayPal link or something?
Yeah, a PayPal link. If any of you have any recommendations that you want me to, a movie that you want me to watch and give you a little shout out in, I do a review and I give you that shout out in the review, or I do a watch along if it's an absolutely terrible movie and I just want to drink gin and laugh and laugh and laugh. But actually, yesterday I released my watch along of the 2011 amazing direct-to-DVD movie called 200 Miles Per Hour, Fast and Furious knockoff.
Oh, nice! I love it.
Amazing. And gin makes it so much better. So
I'm sure.
Yeah, if you have a movie recommendation, head over there and click on PayPal, send whatever you want, and I'll give you a little shout out.
Sweet. Sounds good. All right, so let's get back into this beautiful thing called cinematography.
Cinematography is what
So,
a movie is.
Yeah. So, I thought it was interesting. definitely. I did like a lot of it, especially being an independent film. This was better than some other independent films I have seen. So they did yeah, they did pretty good there. I guess I understand the blue tint for the TV show,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I would have went with maybe a different color. Just my personal opinion, because blue didn't seem. I don't know. It just was weird to me.
Well, I guess what color would have represented that world more to you? I guess
Hmm.
I liked the blue tint.
Did you like the blue tint?
It was a nice contrast. When we go into the TV show, it's this blue, it's cool tones, but then when we're in real life, we had a lot of ambers, we had a lot of yellows, we had a lot of browns and oranges with the where was this film set? I think it was California, right?
I think so.
I feel like it was, but it just the sun and it felt dry, it felt natural, I guess. So I like the contrast between the two personally.
Right.
Are you thinking more of maybe a greenish color or something, or for the show? Or
I don't know. Maybe just more less saturated, I guess. Maybe more just black and white. Maybe a little color in there, but not a lot. I don't know. It is, just like I have ideas too, but it's just like, but something like that.
So maybe you're thinking of maybe like Night of the Living Dead, and kind of like when it was black and white, or that type of thing. Or?
Well, maybe more like Book of Eli or something. That had a lot.
Okay.
Had a lot of contrast, but it was like more.
A lot of muted colors in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
But of course, it's a TV show, and they wanted to ham up probably the show part of it. That's why there was a lot of blood, and that one zombie was on fire.
That's right.
That was kind of funny. That was good. But I don't know. It just, I guess, like in the beginning, because I think they started with that in the beginning of the movie, right? And I guess it was just distracting to me. I was like, ooh, that was very blue. It was like, I don't know. It was just, I think it was just, maybe it was just too much blue for me.
Okay.
Maybe if it was a little less blue, it would have felt better. I don't know. It just,
I mean, blue can represent, nighttime, kind of like dark and despair. So I think there's a reason behind it, but I mean,
I'm sure
it's not gonna make everybody happy. So
I felt blue in the inside.
Abba dee abba die. When I was a kid and I listened to that I'm Blue song, I used to think it was I'm blue, I'm in need of a dye, because he's blue and he needed to dye his skin.
Oh, okay.
Everyone was saying like it's Abadi Abadai or it's I'm in need of a guy. I'm like, I think it's I'm in need of a dye because he's blue. Doesn't that make sense? I think that makes the most sense out of all three of those. But
yeah.
There was some really cool camera work. There was a scene in here where a new tenant comes in who thinks he's going to be renting the room now.
Oh, right.
Because Frank thought Marcus was not going to be living there, but then he comes back. And when Marcus starts beating him up and beating up on him, the camera, I don't know if it was on a crane or what, but it had this like swooping effect where it's going up and we see this kind of bird's eye angel view over the beating from Marcus. Like, oh, I'm impressed with this. I wasn't okay from an independent film. I thought it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess goodness, you're right. There are some really good parts in cinematography. And then there were some kind of cheesy parts. I don't know. I guess it's gonna have to be a half a point again, because yeah.
I would give it a full point, just because it has a math montage. where Marcus is learning math,
Right.
and I haven't seen that since Stand and Deliver.
Ah,
And like, no,
right,
I don't
right.
think any other movie has done a math montage. I don't
Right.
think this one pulls
That's
it off
true.
as well as Stand and Deliver, but it had a freaking math montage, and it was
Right.
okay.
Yeah. That was. You're right. That was cool. I liked it. So yeah. All right. Now we're on to the music of the movie,
The music.
or the score. If, you know, I used to call them scores, but someone got confused, and so I had to like put slash music with it. So I was like,
What's really confusing is when I'm trying to look up like a film score, I'll type in the title of the movie and type in blah blah soundtrack, but that gives me
right.
like the actual like radio songs. I'm like, no,
Right.
I want the score. I have to say soundtrack score. God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because it's all in like one movie. They have a score, they have regular music, they have a soundtrack, and it's all
Yep.
It's kind of hard to explain it sometimes. Words are hard.
Words, what are they? Words.
All right. I do remember music being in it. It wasn't it wasn't like
I
like
recall.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that they had the original songs in there and stuff, but at the same time, it's like it was there to help the movie, so I really didn't notice much of it. Not like some movies where you hear it when something's going on,
where the music is like its own character, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I mean, it helped the movie play along, but I don't know if I can really give it a. I mean, it was good, but I don't know if I could really give it a full point at least, because it wasn't like in your face type of thing. It wasn't like, but I know it's not like an epic movie either, so it's it's hard.
It's
hard.
it's indicative of what you're trying to say, Dan. It's there's music there. I know there was, but if you ask me, sing the tune or sing like the theme of this movie, I can't. I don't even.
Right.
I can't even remember it. So I mean, I'm sure. I looked it up. The David G. Russell. He was the composer. I'm sure he worked hard. But I mean,
right.
You're right. It wasn't memorable. Not saying it was bad. It just wasn't. I can't even remember it. So,
Right.
I feel like a jerk now. I feel like a
jerk.
I
know. Yeah. Jeez.
What are we doing here?
I know. Goodness, I hate reviewing movies. What? Ah, goodness. What do they call us? Critics? we criticize everything.
Can't make them happy at all.
Yeah. Man, see?
Oh, okay. We're going to the 20. Ah, he's looking at you, kid. Yeah. You got to get on that plane, Dan. You got to get on that plane for him.
So I guess a half a point I'll have to put in.
I think I've been generous for the other categories so far. I'll be a jerk, and I'm gonna go 0. Because I don't remember the music. Sorry.
Right. That's okay.
Sorry. Why am I apologizing?
I know, right?
I'm entitled to my opinion.
Yeah,
we're all entitled to our opinion.
I mean, it's not like we're saying this movie was horrible. So,
no.
I mean, it was a decent movie. I laughed. I cried. Yeah. Well, I didn't cry, but I laughed. And
I did not cry.
It was kind of more of a happy movie, kind of thing.
It's a feel good after school special, or maybe you like put it on in Sunday school type movie. I think.
Yeah. So last but not least, my friends, the allegory. And since this is a movie of almost like real life, you know, and there is like a redemption side for the son of the Korean man, and and even Marcus himself has kind of a redeeming aspect, because he went into stop taking his pills and he became like a little crazy, but he didn't really want to be that way. So it was good.
For
I did
me,
not.
oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. No.
Okay.
You
Okay.
go first. You go
Okay.
first.
I have 3 allegories that really hit for me throughout this film. The first one, like one of the biggest themes in here, is forgiveness and learning to forgive.
Yes.
They mention it all the time with the Korean family. It's about learning to forgive those that screwed up. So Kim, who's the kid, he messed up. He went to jail, and the mother had to pick up a lot of the slack around the store and around the house because of that, and holds a lot of resentment for him. So learning to forgive, and I wrote this down here. It's something that I saw probably on Instagram years ago, but it's always stuck with me. Is one of the messages of this movie is to learn to forgive, not because the person deserves to be forgiven, but it's because you deserve the peace to move on with your life from whatever the situation is.
Yes.
So
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's one of the biggest aspects of the movie is forgiveness, to give yourself that peace.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'll agree with that. That's a good one. So what was? Yeah, that's a good one. And as some of you out there know, that I myself and some of our other inside the boothers are Christians. Forgiveness is key for freedom. So, to be free, like the weight gets lifted off. When you learn to forgive somebody and don't hold that resentment or that anger toward people, even if they don't come in and say sorry to you. It's good to forgive them anyways, because that helps you personally to move on with life. It's just one of those things. And then obviously we learn that because Jesus forgave us of our sins and the bad things we did. So, forgiveness is good. I like it.
Forgiveness is good.
Yeah.
Love It Ever After just came into the chat.
Oh, yes, love it.
Hello,
Interesting
Ms.
movie.
Lovett. Are you
What's
reaping
up?
all the benefits?
Miss Buckets. What was that? The Adam Sandler movie?
That was Wedding Crashers, when John Lovitz is there and he's auditioning.
Okay, that's what.
Then Adam Sandler kind of freaks out with his song. He's like, he's losing his mind.
Right.
I am reaping all the benefits.
Gosh, I don't think that was called Wedding Crashers though. That was
Not The Wedding Singer. Wedding
yes.
Crashers was a whole different movie.
Different movie that
About things that I don't think you want to talk about on your channel.
Yeah, not really. I did see that movie a long time ago. I wasn't really impressed.
I liked it because they mentioned the name Caleb in it, and you never heard that in movies.
Oh.
It was very brief, but all of a sudden it was like, Caleb? Oh my god.
They said my name.
I'm in Hollywood, mother.
That's great. Yes, Wedding Singers is a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The let's see.
So
that was my first one. The second one, and the most powerful part about this film, and it's something that I've struggled with and I've learned throughout my life, is that and this may be controversial. You may disagree with it, but this is something that I personally believe, that that family is something that you choose. It's not something that you're born into. Mm-hmm. And Marcus here, he had this mother who he wanted to see this entire time. It was his super objective for this entire film, is that he wanted to go visit his mom so that they can both have a Thanksgiving where they sit down at a table, they watch the zombie show together.
Yeah.
And then he finally sees her, hasn't seen her in 15, 20 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she's awful. She
Yeah,
saw him as a means to an end. She didn't see him as his son.
Mhm.
And in other words, she's a mother, she's not a mom, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I totally get it. I understand what you're saying.
But at the end of the film, he chooses Frank, he chooses his home, he chooses the Korean family who comes over and celebrates Thanksgiving and watches the show with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just in my life, that's something that I've learned, is that family, just because you're blood related doesn't make them the most important people in your life. The person I'm married to, who's sleeping upstairs right now, that's not related to blood with her, but she's my family.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. It is a choice too. I agree with that. I also agree. I mean, it can go both ways. Obviously, some people have good families, some people don't. And they have to choose. Because I don't know about you, but I grew up in a home with just a mom, so she was my family basically. I didn't have my father in my life. The past, I think it's been like 8-9 years now, I have reached out to the one who helped make me. My father, I guess you could say, but he wasn't a father because he wasn't there. So
Right.
And I'm not saying he's a bad person. I don't know him that well to say he's bad or he's good. But he just wasn't there for me. So I understand that whole, because I would take like pastors or even like my grandfather. I looked up to them as like father figures, So yeah, I understand that whole thing.
Right. And the Surianos talked about the passion behind making this movie, that the tenants in their home who have special needs, their families, their parents would call and say, "Oh yeah, we'll come over for Thanksgiving. Yeah, we'll come over, we'll see him." And a lot of times they wouldn't. So they'll call saying they're coming, and the
disappoint them or whatever.
the person would just be disappointed, just be heartbroken.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I personally think there's a lot of power and a lot of beauty in choosing those that you welcome into your life.
Yeah.
As opposed to being stuck with someone because you're blood related. Personally.
Right.
Again, that's a others may feel differently. That's totally fine. It's your life.
Yeah.
So
hey, we're all human.
And then my third allegory, and I hope you caught on to this, Dan, in the movie, but stair railings are really easy to install. They really are. And if your spouse has a bad back and is trying to get up the stairs, you should install stair railings. Seriously.
No, I really didn't catch that. I mean, now that you say it, I can look back and yes, there was no railings.
Trying to
She's
brace
holding the
herself
walls,
on the walls, trying to get up the stairs. I'm like, why haven't you installed stair railings? You could afford it. You had all that cash in the safe. You could afford it.
Right.
They're not that expensive.
Safety is key, everybody.
Pretty seriously. I felt so bad for her. I'm like, dude, Zhang, what are you doing? That's all you do. If when you interview them, could you ask them? I don't know if you're going to have me back on the show, but could you ask the producers, like, why weren't the stair railings installed for her? What character choice did Jung have that he didn't install the frickin' stair railing?
That's funny.
That's an important allegory. It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
Important message.
Important message. Safety, everybody. Get some stair railings if you have stairs. If you don't have stairs, then don't worry about it.
And don't worry about it. Then you're fine.
Exactly.
You can break your back all you want. It's fine. But if you break your back and you have stairs, install stair railings.
That's right. And always go to the chiropractor first time you hurt your back. It might get fixed. If not, then you gotta go to the hospital.
Yeah, you're broken. If that has a person, then you gotta go to the other person.
Exactly. All right, so I'll give allegory a point. Those are really wonderful allegories.
Yep, I'll give it a very strong point. Yep, absolutely.
All right. Lack of railings stabilizes the lack of security one could have in life. ?
I like that. That's beautiful.
And I read it.
There's your allegory right there.
Yeah.
Put that on the DVD cover.
What's that? That's great. I love it. Thanks, love it. That's a good one. And I read it as a statement, not a question. I'm sorry.
Those are the best.
I know, right?
When I would get an email from a student and they would send a comment in, and I know it's a question, but they definitely put a period at the end, I will read it as a statement, and
yeah,
it drives them crazy because I love being sarcastic with them.
Right. That's great.
I'm sorry, I don't see a question here. I know you intended it to be, but it's not. Rewrite it.
There you go. You got to rewrite. All right. So this is the time where we gather up the points and tell you from inside the booth perspective and with a little bit of Caleb watches movies perspective, what the movie got. And then if Caleb wants to say what his DVD pointage is, that's up to him.
My Blu-ray rating is what I do on my
Blu-ray. That's what it was.
DVDs.
Sorry, I said DVD. Sorry.
I'm out of date anyway. If I'm just saying Blu-rays, who does Blu-rays anymore other than me?
Right. All right. So this wonderful movie got a 7 out of 10 points. Everybody, 7 out of 10. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. So I'll recommend this movie. If you guys want to watch this movie, I have the link to their website down below and the link to the trailer for YouTube down below. And I think from their website, you could probably find where to find the movie and watch it. I know I got it from Vudu. So there you go. If you guys have Vudu, you can rent it or buy it there. So yeah, that's it. 7 out of 10 points, everybody, from inside the booth. Caleb, what would you give it for Blu-ray rating?
Well, I think just doing the math with my math montage, that with how you score it, it's 4 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
I mean, gosh, I didn't think I would give it that high. I think in the end I'd go with like 3 out of 5 personally.
3.5. Go 3.5.
Let's go 3.5. Okay, let's be nice.
Do a half.
We'll do 3.5. I like that.
3.5 Blu-rays. All right.
So my on my channel, I would do a sound clip of Steve Trevor from Wonder Woman going, "I am above average."
I like that. I like that a lot. You know, I haven't done any video clips today. I guess just talking was enough. Yeah.
Do you have some? You want to do some?
I do have some. One of my favorites, because I made it, is this one. But this only works. This one, everybody, will only work if we did like an older movie, a popular older movie.
Remember this? 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 Remember this?
I think that's
You remember,
that's
remember
a
that?
glimpse into a. I think that's a glimpse into a Disney stockholder meeting
Dude,
where all the
remember
creatives get
this?
together. Like, what are we gonna do next? Well, remember when that was cool?
Yeah.
South Park did the member berries. Ah, you remember Chewbacca? Oh yeah,
Oh, let's make a
I
Chewbacca show.
remember. You remember? I remember.
That's a good one. There's another one.
It's fantastic.
Just for funsies.
I can't get that corn dog out of my face. Yes. God, Jack Black has been great this whole year with Peaches in Super Mario Bros.
yeah.
He has
Super
been
Mario Bros.
killing
was
it.
good. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I think that's the end of the show, everybody. Oh, here's one that I usually play for Anonymous. He's not here. He was here earlier. So if he watches this afterwards, this is for you, Anonymous.
You gotta tell him Silent Green is people!
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Silent Green is people. Don't you forget it. Silent Green's people, everybody.
What was that from?
You've never seen the movie Silent Green? Oh my goodness.
I don't
You
think
have to
so.
review
No,
that
I don't know that one.
Oh, well, go watch it and review it. It's a
Gunter.
good movie. You should have done it last year because Silent Green was supposed to be the year 2022. So
Oh,
yeah. But that's okay. You
No.
could be a year behind. Nobody cares.
exactly. That's a lot of my reviews are too. I'm like, this movie came out 10 years ago. What am I doing? It's fun.
Yeah. So the movie takes place in 2022. The movie came out in like the 60s or something.
Okay.
That's Charleston Heston. That's it. Silent Green.
I thought it sounded and looked like him.
Yeah.
Let my people go, Pharaoh.
That's it. That's a
Yeah.
good movie. Good movie. All right. So thanks everybody for being here. We hope you all have a good night. Don't forget to share. Watch it. The first member berries. Sorry. Just reading some comments that I didn't grab onto while I was doing this. All right. Thanks. Good night. Goodbye. Love you all. Well, I'm looking for this one. Actually, you know what? I'll just do this first and then say goodbye. All right. We're goodbye.
Okay.
Right now.
Goodbye.
We're not bye yet. Goodbye. And the one I want is this one here.
Are you not entertained?